evening, everyone. My name is Isabel Vera Cruz of ESME Philippines, and I will be your host for tonight's webinar. Before we begin, if any of you have questions regarding the discussion, don't hesitate to send them to us by entering it in the comment section of whatever social media platform you're watching this on, and I'll be here to relay them to our guest speaker for today. Welcome to the live webinar series of ESME PH, an e-learning marketplace for Filipino professionals, where one can develop relevant and in-demand skills through masterclasses in different fields of learning. If you want to learn more about us, feel free to visit our page at www.sme.ph. And for those who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, feel free to share this link to the stream to people who you think will be interested in today's topic. We are inviting everyone to join us in our live learning series where seasoned experts, such as our speaker today, in various fields of from agriculture and business to marketing to futures thinking to relationships to health and fitness and more, help you develop your skills and advance both in your personal life and in your career. If you're interested in learning more about the live learning series, head on over to our website. Again, it's www.sme.ph and click on the live learning tab. We hope you can join us. The COVID-19 pandemic put our lives on hold. However, our household expenses doubled in a year since the pandemic started to ruin our lives. Investments and investing seemed to be part of the past. Our health became our investment. But how about those who have ventured in the real estate industry long before the pandemic affected most of the businesses industry in the country? What about their rentals, turnovers, and payments? Fear not, as our guest for tonight will save the day on this society's crucial times. He is an architect by education, a real estate management graduate of Harvard Business School, a property sales coach, and president of Spectrum Investments. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome property guru Carl B. and how to hurdle through property challenges brought about by the pandemic.
Hello, Isabel. How are you?
Doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I just like to say hello to everybody watching from the SME platform. Yung mga, I think the SME is like one of the Philippines' first online learning platform, no? And I just want to commend you guys that it's a fantastic platform. You know, I signed up to one of your courses on agriculture, si Agrilenial, and it was so much information. So hello everybody to all the listeners out there and the viewers watching live.
Yes, I'm super happy that you are here with us, Carl B. But before you proceed to your webinar, can you tell me more about yourself? Who is Carl B? Who is this property guru, Carl B?
Hello, Isabel. Parang ASL. So, well, you know, I'm how would I say it? I grew up as a delivery boy. That's where I started as a delivery boy. That's where my roots are, and I never thought that I would be a speaker someday or somebody who's an authority in property. I just started as a delivery boy and then eventually took up architecture, then eventually found work with the Philippines' largest developer, which is Ayala Land. And I stayed there since 2002 up until 2015 as a sales director. Then eventually put up my own small company, Spectrum Investments, which is a property advisory company. So we give advice to people, big and small. When you say big, is let's say one of our clients is somebody building a building. They come to us for advice and say, Carl, what do you think of this idea? What are the things we should watch out for? So my job is to tell all our clients what you need to watch out for. Diba? Kasi that's more important than how can you make money, ganun. That's already easy, diba? And then eventually I was invited to speak about property, about investments. But today, Isabel, is a special session, and I just want to welcome everybody watching live, no? Because this session is about how to hurdle through your property challenges. You know, Isabel, there's many people teaching you how to buy property, telling you how to make money, selling you stuff. But I feel that there's a void right now. May butas wherein nobody's helping out yung mga medyo negatively affected by the pandemic. So I opened this live kapihan, Isabel, for those who are affected, mga OFWs natin, people who are lost. And ang dami nilang questions in their mind about property na they don't know who to go to for answers. So I'm opening up this 30-45 minute kapihan, and I hope people will start asking their concerns through the chat box. Yon, Isabel.
Yeah, definitely. Ayun nga. You said a lot of people are lost right now. So if you have any questions, just type them down on the comment section and Carl D will help you out.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So, guys, are you watching live right now? If you're watching live, please say hi in the comment box. I just want to hear from you. Where are you guys watching from? So, I want to get the feel of the audience. Ayan. So, yep. I'm seeing people come in. So, yes, tonight, Isabel, it's all about the audience. How can we help them navigate? But, Isabel, I also want to emphasize no, na I'm here to help you navigate. But I have no influence over your money. I have no influence over the developers. I have no influence over your kausap. So I cannot help you in execution, but I can help you with the idea and the mindset on how to approach. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And for sure, hopefully today you'll be able to help out a lot of people with that and inspiring advice. And you mentioned a while ago you started as a delivery boy. Can you tell me more about that experience? And growing up, did that influence you?
Yeah. O sige. We're gonna move on to our topic soon. How did I influence as a delivery boy? Basically, as a delivery boy, you get to go around and then you get to meet mga business owners. And these business owners, doon ko na-realize na parang lahat sila may property. So that's the first, when I was 12 years old, the first time my eyes was open to the property world. Yan. So Isabel, let's start with the ball rolling with the questions, no? Let me look for the question na lang from the audience, Isabel. So let's see. How about this question? Let me share my screen para we know where we are, no, with the topic. Let me share my screen, Isabel. How do you share screen? There you go. All right. So guys, sa mga audience out there, these are the common questions I get asked, no, from the audience, and I would like to use this media. Thank you, Esme, Isabel, for allowing me to use this medium to be able to speak to a lot of people. So, first question that I usually hear is, Carl, my rental property is vacant. What should I do? Yeah. If you can relate to this question, please type me in the chat box so I can see you. Hello, Ruth from Valenzuela. So for those asking, Carl, my rental property is vacant. What should I do? First, I want to guide you, everybody, na talagang the rental market is partially affected. Not 100% affected, partially affected. Why? Because it's natural that there is no movement of people, diba? Because of COVID-19. So I'm guiding you and teaching you how to analyze the property. Yung mga dating nag-work sa office and they're renting nearby, they're not renting anymore. They're now in their houses, either in the provinces, in Bulacan, Cavite, ganon, and they're okay there. That's why if your market segment is affected, then your unit is vacant. But it's not all. the university market, Isabel, is also affected because obviously walang school, 'di ba? So walang nag-rent if you are targeting a university audience. But yes, love to see all the comments na me na because you're affected. This is real. So I'm gonna guide you. If you are but siguro mga 50, if you're targeting the expat market, medyo affected ka rin because a lot of the expats, the Japanese, they were pulled out from their country, from here, to go back to their country. Why? Because it's natural. Because if you're a foreigner, you're in a different country, a third world country, you would want to go back to your country during the pandemic. So it's natural. So kung yun yung market segment mo, you have a vacant property. So the question is, what should I do? Now that you understand why it's happening to you, what should you do? The right answer is prepare for the comeback. Prepare for the bounce back. Okay, first analyze your property. Is your property can pivot to a market? Like I've been hearing of people na, we are doing a hotel business. Yung medyo B&B, bread and breakfast type of hotel. Pero since there's no tourism, we have pivoted to become a quarantine hotel. What is a quarantine hotel or what is a quarantine dormitory? You know, a lot of Filipinos, if they get diagnosed with, let's say, some symptoms of COVID, their house is too small. Hindi nila kaya mag-quarantine. So what do? They have to go out and find a different place to stay. Siyempre, but if you go to a condo, some condo will say, ay hindi, bawal ka dito because you are positive or you have symptoms. Ay, itong condo naman na to, bawal ang short-term stay. We need 6 months. So there are a few very creative hotel owners, apartment owners, dormitory owners na nag-pivot sila. And they say, okay, I'm going to be a quarantine facility. All of my 30 rooms will be for quarantine. We're going to hire some medical nurses, doctor to help me become a quarantine facility. So, syempre yung mga nag-travel, OFW, when they come home, they need a quarantine facility. So, hindi sila na vacant. They're able to drive business pa rin. So, with that said, I want to let all the audience have a pivot creative mindset, no? So number one, what should you do? Analyze your market. Meron bang other pivots possible? Meron ka bang pwedeng, if you're a university student, pwede ka ba mag-pivot to another market, di ba? Maybe you can be a dormitory for somebody who's on their way to going abroad or a quarantine facility nga, coming back, and then they will stay there for 7 days, 14 days. You know, I remember one of my friends, when they were hiring a new house help or a new helper sa bahay, they were asking around sa Facebook group, anybody know of a condo that we can rent for 2 weeks because I want my new house help to quarantine muna dun. So, yun lang guys, I just want to share with you being open-minded to pivot. What should you do? Be open-minded to pivot, prepare for the bounce back. If talagang vacant ka, university student market, then wala kang choice but to wait. Hang in there. Make your unit ready for the bounce back. Meaning, imagine this. Let's say one day, the Philippines started to open and then people started to rent. You want your unit to be clean, to be ready, refreshed, clean ang aircon, to be the first to be rented out. Nagets nyo, guys? So, yun yung ma-advise ko, to be ready for the pivot. Yun lang yung ma-advise ko sa mga vacant ang ano. What else, guys? Please feel free to ask your questions so we can make this more akapihan. Isabel, do you have any comment about this or any, before I move to my next question?
I just totally agree to what you said about the quarantine house. It's really seen right now in the pandemic. So yeah, if you have any questions, just type them down. I'll be the one to relate to Carl B, and he can help you out with your questions.
Okay, Isabel, ito naman ang another common question. Sir Carl, people call me, I bought this condo, will it be delayed? I think the right answer, no, is yes, of course, it will be delayed. Diba? You know, I see a lot of people you have to manage your expectation, guys. As a property investor, you have to manage your expectation. You have to manage reality. Meaning, we had COVID and there was an easy 6 months where it was closed. No movement last year, 6 months. And then when the world or the Philippines started to open up slowly, it was not immediate. So the construction had to slowly bounce back. And I think at the moment, construction is not 100% full swing. Kasi nga may physical distancing. So yes, it's a um, natural cause and effect that the construction of most of the condominiums and the properties that you purchase will be delayed. For how long? Easily, I think 1 year. 1 year delay, easily. Why? I don't get angry with your developer. So guys, I'm here not to defend the developer, but to help you manage and navigate through the property challenges, di ba? Yun nga, dahil nga sa delay in the construction, expect that your turnover will be delayed. So the next question will be, paano yung bayad ko? Unfortunately, I think if you're paying monthly, mukhang tuloy lang yung monthly, there may be some stop the past few months, but it looks like it's gonna be tuloy na naman ulit, no? Yeah, but maybe what you can do is politely you can communicate with your developer and tell them na, hey, because of the building delay, I'm also financially affected. Can I ask for a 1-year extension, an 8-month extension on my, di ba may malaking amount yan sa dulo, di ba, on my lump sum? If I can ask for an extension so that it will kind of be very close again to the turnover, para hindi naman masyadong malayo. So, yes, it will definitely, there's delay in all the projects. You hurdle this challenge by communicating with your developer. And I've also heard of a lot of people complaining, Sir Carl, hindi sumasagot yung developer. I'm not happy with the response. So unfortunately, I like to guide you also, guys, to be more understanding also, because syempre, you know, as a developer naman, they acquired the clients dahan-dahan, di ba? Dahan-dahan kayo nila na-acquire, 5 clients, 10 clients a week, next week. But when over years, 5 years, 6 years. But when the pandemic came, Isabel, lahat ng tao biglang merong same concern, di ba? And they're emailing the developers, lahat yan left and right. So I'm guessing the frontliners of these developers, they're also overwhelmed with different situations, di ba? So how do you do this? If you are emailing your developer, my advice is make it not so long. Try to remove all the irrelevant information. Kasi pag masyadong mahaba rin, the frontliner responding to your email will have a hard time. Kasi nga, it's confusing, it's mahaba. And if there's too many overlapping questions, nahihirapan din sila. Diba? Like, for example, I've seen many people email their developers na I would like to ask if the building is going to be turned over on time. Kasi, you know, 7 years ago, I had this experience na delay yung ganun na building nyo. This is another building on another situation, but it's overlapped in the same email. And then, paano naman ako? You know, I lost my job. That's a third overlap. And that's emotional, personal. And then, maybe meron pang pang-apat na overlap wherein do you think there will be people renting my unit? So that's a fourth overlap in one email. So usually, pag ganun yung email natin to our developers, they have a hard time responding. Kasi nga ang dami. So what you should do is just clean it up, focus on what you want to achieve. If you say, can I ask for a 1-year extension on my payment because there's a delay? That's it. You can add a little bit na because my work as a ganun-ganun is affected. I would appreciate it if you would give me the extension. That's it. So very clear. So I gave you another tip, guys. If you have concerns with your developer, just do that do a simple email, and then malinaw na what you're asking for. I think it's harder for the developer to respond if you leave it open and you say, what can you offer me? Hirap eh. Kasi yun nga, because of the way the developer is structured na, they are not, it's hard for them to be flexible to many iba-ibang requests. All right. So, ano pa ba? Guys, from the audience, feel free to... How about you, Isabel? Do you see any questions that are related to hurdling the property challenges?
As of now, we don't have from the comments section.
From the Google Docs. Di bale, as you read through the Google Docs, Isabel, this is another common question. No? Sir Carl, I'm having a hard time paying for my installment. What is your advice? Okay. So we've moved from 3 different categories, guys. First category is you have a problem with your product, your property. Di ba? Wala kang tenant. What should you do? You analyze your market, you prepare for the bounce back. That's the property side. Number 2 question is about the construction and turnover question with your developer. So I guided you how you email and talk to your developer so that you get your results, which is to simplify your email and try to keep it clean and direct. Number 3 question is personal. So nakita mo, Isabel, how we are able to separate all of our concerns. And I tell you, Isabel, sometimes friends will come to me with all of these concerns in one bagsak. And we would have to clean it up. So, Sir Carl, I'm having a hard time paying for my installment. What is your advice? Okay. A lot of people have this concern. Kasi nga, a lot of, we have some OFW friends who are affected. Na they lost their income and they're unable to pay. Diba? Kumbaga, hindi naman na priority yun, diba? This is a very difficult question, guys, to answer. Kasi it will hurt. It will hurt. It will be painful to answer. But again, I'm here to guide you. I'm here to... Kumbaga parang sa Dr. Isabel, if you're sick, we would have to tell you that you are sick and then we will do whatever ways to manage it. Diba? So if financially you are affected, the challenge is a personal challenge, meaning we were not able to set aside some funds for these kinds of situations. So talagang naiipit tayo. So we're stressed, we're worried. Will the developer return my money? So unfortunately, it's not gonna sound easy, guys. Do not bash me for this, but this is real talk. The developer most likely will not return whatever money is paid because, diba, at some point they used a portion of it to run their business, the operations, pay for the salary. So yeah, there's some masedalo out there and all, but we're not going to discuss that here because I don't want to go legal. I want to prepare you how to navigate through this. So if you are this person, first accept that, diba? Oh shucks, I'm in this dilemma. I'm in this hole. How do I get out of the hole? Diba? It's not who will bring me out of the hole. It's not that. It's not sinong magbi-bring out sa akin sa hole. But the question is, how can I navigate through these challenges and come out of the hole? So first, have a discussion with your developer and tell them, hey, can I cancel my account? This is case to case, but the first 20% usually is yun na yung non-refundable part, the first 20%. Kasi yun yung parang cost of doing the business, di ba? So if you pay the significant amount, Isabel, is very sensitive. I have many people na I gave advice and they end up hating me for that advice. Kasi hindi dapat ganon. So guys, don't bash me, guys. This is me guiding you through your challenges. First, accept the reality. Number one, that you're in a hole. It's okay lang naman, it happens, diba? We're in a hole, and I would joke with that with my friends before. Sabi ko, shucks, I'm in a hole. How can I get out of this hole? Number two, talk to your developer. Have a communication. Expect internally na maybe wala na yan. Especially if konti lang na ilalabas mo, if it's below 20%. If you've paid out 60%, 70%, baka meron pang bumalik. Accept that it's a loss. But what's important is you are able to move on with your life. That's a priority in my point of view. Diba? So when you're in a hole, the priority is to, diba kunwari, meron kang knapsack na mabigat, guys. And that knapsack sumabit sa puno. Diba? Sumabit sa puno yung knapsack. You wanna get out but your knapsack is stuck. But yung knapsack mo mamahalin. Ano bang mamahalin na brand? Anelo ba yan? Or Jansport? Diba? Ayaw mong bitawan yung bag kasi mahal yung bag. But you're stuck. Guys, are you appreciating the analogy? So what I'm teaching you is let go of that expensive bag and move on with your life. If you're young, 30 years old, 30 plus years old, let that go and move on with your life. Do not let this moment define your future. Do not let this psychologically affect the rest of your life. Diba? There's this saying na pera lang yan. Guys, pasensya na kayo. I'm not, don't bash me for this, but this is real talk. This is me advising you. I have somebody approach me one time sa Facebook, no. He said, "Sir Carl, na-scam ako 4 years ago and I don't know how to move on. My family hates me and they don't trust me anymore. My relationship with my husband has never been the same ever since I got scammed 4 years ago. And our family has changed a lot. Yung relationship namin, I have zero confidence already because of na-scam ako 4 years ago." How many here can relate? How many here can relate na nangyari to sa isang family? This will teach you a big lesson, guys. I agree that that girl, that wife, that mom made a mistake of investing a certain money at nawala. Diba? It's a small mistake. But it's not life-changing. It's the response of the husband. It's the response of the family member that made it forever life-changing. Do you agree? So I just want to guide everybody here na if you can relate to that situation, if your spouse, your parents, your son, your daughter made a mistake in their life, and it's a money mistake, learn to see through learn to understand the mistake, get the learning, and move on. Yun yung masasabi ko, guys. This is coming from you as your Tito Carl, Kuya Carl, brotherly advice. A lot of us went through money challenges. We lost money. Let's face it, we lost money. But yun yung tinatawag nilang pera lang yan. Not bragging, pera lang yan, guys. You can earn it back. But using that example ng wife, ever since she lost that money, she got scammed, wala na siyang confidence. Lagi siyang pinapagalitan ng husband niya, laging binabalik. 4 years, binabalik. Sayang, di ba, Isabel, you would agree? Are you seeing the wrong in this example? And I asked that girl, teka lang. How much ba yung pinag-uusapan? How much is all of your relationship worth for your family members na they despise you or they are disappointed with you for a mistake? 400,000 pesos. So guys, are you seeing the lesson? For 400,000 pesos, the husband chose the money over my wife. Diba? So if your son, your parents made the mistake before and it cost you 400,000 pesos, 1 million, 2 million, a mistake, and you get angry because of that, then it just shows na we made money more important than our relative, our spouse. So yun lang guys, this is your Tito Carl talking about money. And this is very valuable because as we go through our life, we will experience these financial challenges. But always think this is just money. You can gain it back, but never let it affect your life. Okay ba, Isabel? What do you think of that? Masyado bang heavy?
I really like that. I really like the explanation. Yeah, it's how you deal with the situation. But putting that aside, we have here a question since we're talking about money already. She said she's having a problem. She's having problems with her mortgage because her business is affected. So, how can she deal with her bank?
Yeah, that's a very good question. No? I'm not gonna name you so anonymous, but I really appreciate that question kasi maraming nakikinig dito na they have that concern, 'di ba? So, to summarize, at some point, of course, the best way to look at this is to baliktad eh. Kung may umutang sa'yo ng money, 'di ba? Kunwari may umutang sa'yo, Isabel, they promise you, I'm gonna pay you 10,000 every month, Isabella. What are your expectations, Isabel? To get paid every month, 10,000. 'Di ba? At some point, it's irrelevant what's happening to the other person, 'di ba? Kasi you also have your own life, 'di ba? Na you are expecting 10,000 payment every month kasi nagpautang ka, maybe it's 1 million of your money, you gave it to that person and binabayaran ka niya dapat ng 10,000 because you first extended that courtesy of borrowing money. So, I just want to say that, Isabel, because sometimes we forget eh. Pag tayo na yung hindi nakabayad ng utang, we tend to forget na yung nagpautang sa atin, is not really at fault at any point, 'di ba? It's really us who's at fault of not being able to comply, no? But nothing wrong with it happens, life happens, So now, it's a good thing you're dealing with the bank. So maganda yung nangyari sa'yo, Miss listener, because buti you borrowed from the bank. At least walang emotional involved. The bank, you just need to pay. Versus you borrow from a relative, patay na. you would not hear the last of it, di ba? So how do you navigate? Wala talaga. First, that's an obligation. We borrowed money because we had a strategy in mind. To do this, to invest in this one so that it will make money and I will just pay the bank what I need to pay. But if the business is affected, first, you'll have to talk to the bank and say, hey bank, what can I do? Can we stretch it longer para mas light yung payments ko until I survive this? Or you just tell the bank, can I sell this property na lang? How much do I need to pay you? Sige na, kahit benta ko na ng palugi. Knapsack heavy, sumabit sa puno, ile-let go ko na tong knapsack ko. It's okay. It's okay guys, I tell you. If you're in a situation right now and you need to sell ng palugi, hopefully it's a good property because if it's a good property, somebody will buy it. If it's not a good property, patay. Wala ring bibili, na ba? So that's why I'll end there. Then I'm gonna talk about, that's why we have this 10-week real estate program that we made with SME. Kasi nga ang dami talagang tao out there who does not have the whole strategy in place. Okay, going back. So talk to your bank, how you can make it work. Okay lang, nothing emotional, nothing to be ashamed of. It happens. It's part of the strategy. Now, if you cannot pay, what is your exit plan? And then, second option, you sell the property. You can sell the property with a profit. Okay lang, kung talagang kaya. You can sell the property at break-even. Balik puhunan. Okay lang din. Pero kung talagang wala, sell it at a loss just for you to pay the bank and burden's gone. Diba? Yeah, lugi ka. Lugi ka 1 million, 2 million. But the lugi is because nga things did not go right. Ganun talaga ang business. Ganun talaga when you invest, when you take a risk. But ang nalugi mo naman is past money. Kung lugi naman kung lugi ang pag-uusapan, I think I will be the bad guy Isabel, I will be talking about lugi. Diba? Kasi not many people talk about this eh. It's okay naman malugi at some point. Diba? It happens when you're a businessman. That's why you are a risk taker. Diba? So, if you need to sell your property and malugi ka, pero you are free up of the burden, you're able to pay your bank, you're able to exit, you're able to learn a gigantic lesson, and you're only 30 plus, 40 plus, I think it's okay na rin. It's a tuition fee, kumbaga. Diba? So, Isabel, what do you think?
Love that. Love that advice.
I just want to do a little plug lang. Guys, so we're doing a 10-week masterclass, guys. 10 weeks. Bakit 10 weeks? Because I requested for this. This is a lot of work for the team. Sabi nga ng mga team, Carl, just do it 1 weekend, 2 days lang. Para done na. Why 10 weeks? Kasi I believe that we cannot sit down and learn property na tuloy-tuloy. It's gonna be a nosebleed. So I intentionally will commit to 10 Saturdays starting middle of August. 1 hour lang every Saturday. 8 o'clock Saturday night till 9, 1 hour. And each hour, we're gonna talk about one topic lang. And I'm gonna guide you. Diba? If you are new to the property, listen in, join in. It's only around 12,800. Sobrang mura nito, 12,000. If you're a newbie, sign in. You avoid making mistakes because you know the right questions to ask. If you are here because you made the mistake in property, I tell you, the more you need to sign up. Diba? Because gusto mong bawiin whatever man nilugi mo. Do not, if you are nalugi in one business, do not stop. Sayang nung nilugi mo. You have to pick up all the learnings and come out smarter. So if you are nalugi, sign up to this course. If you are already into the property business, sign up to the course. I will guide you. I will teach you more techniques, more tricks. Diba? And then if you are already advanced, we're going to have some advanced questions also about build and sell, about flipping. I saw a question by Faye. No? Faye, can you play your video about turning your slightly old Makati to 4 capsules? I'll see what I can do. It's not loaded right now, but I'll see what I can do by the end of the show. So guys, by the end of the show, okay, itong 10-week na to, let me plug a little bit, guys. Okay, we're gonna use the BRRR method, the buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat model. Okay, but Philippine setting. Session 1, we're gonna talk about mindset, foundation, mistakes to avoid. Session 2, we're gonna talk about buying. Diba? I tell you guys, in real estate, okay, in school, in college, pag nag-aral ka mabuti, that's good. You know, you get a 100 grade. In real estate, kahit anong aral mo, if you don't buy a property, you would never join the bandwagon of the profit. You will never get a rental income if you just keep on studying. So I'm going to teach you how to buy, how to do the right thing, what to consider when buying, and what to expect. And this is not a sales talk of, you buy this because maganda. I'm going to warn you. I'm going to tell you what not to do, what is the wrong mindset. Diba? What mistakes to avoid? How do you create a strategy? Week number 3, we're going to talk about renovation. Diba? I've seen many people come to me and say, Sir Carl, nagtitipid ako. Hey Richard, how are you? Nagtitipid ako, ayoko nang paggastusan yung renovate. Ginastos ako na ng 10 million yung unit, ayoko na gumastos. You see the disconnect there. You have a 10 million worth of property and then you don't want to spend renovating it to make it comfortable for your tenant. So I'm going to guide you. What to spend on, what not to spend on. This is coming from 20 years of real estate experience. And oh, by the way, this is both live and recorded. So I requested from Esme to do a recording. Why? Because I believe that not everybody is available on Saturday, 8 o'clock. But if you're available, you join the live session, Q&A tayo. I'll answer your question and give you advice. But if you're not free, like you're a doctor, you're a businessman, you want to watch it at night, it's recorded. So week number 4, we're going to talk about rentals, all about rentals. I'm going to teach you strategy, 6 steps, techniques on renting out. Fifth week, we're gonna talk about finance. Pera, utang sa bangko, leverage, what not to do when you're borrowing from the bank, what you should watch out for, how you protect yourself from borrowing from the bank. I tell you guys, week number 5 is very exciting. If you don't know how to use the bank, you should know it. You should study it. Number 6, how you flip, how you sell the property out, how do you price it, how do you know that you're selling at a good price. Number 7, we're going to talk about flipping. What not to do, because ang dami ko nakikita dyan, Isabel, that are entering the flipping strategy with a wrong approach and they get lugi, di ba? Talk about build and sell, and each week there will be case studies. There will be a real project na pag-uusapan natin, ano nagkamali doon, ano ang nag-work, ganun. Number 9 is all sa mga taong mahilig mag-computation. We're going to talk about computations, Excel. I'm not a fan of numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. I don't believe in counting. Di ba? Yung mga tao sa stock market, the experts, like Marvin Guermo, he checks his stocks in the morning, put some trades in, and just leave it there. Hindi na binabalik-balikan. That's me. But there are other people out there na gusto nila lagi tingin ng tingin sa Excel nila. So I'm gonna do Excel. Week number 10, we're gonna summarize everything and we're gonna talk about execution and I'm gonna send you off. That's your last week. So yeah, so it's 12,888 bala. 12,888 siya. We gave a promo. I think if you have a coupon code, host, can you type the coupon code into the Facebook? CDYSME. That's a coupon code. You will get it at this discounted 9888. All right. Ano pa ba, Isabel? Anything on the Google Docs na we can tackle? And we can end soon. Yeah.
I just want to include, someone asked here a question. She asked, is the Airbnb short-term business still a good business now or long-term is more suitable during the pandemic?
Very good question. Very, very good question. Wait lang. Okay, wait lang. Okay. Very good question about Airbnb. No? I wanna... We will spend also... Let me type that question in. Airbnb. Little trivia. Is a tourism type of rental property. Tourism, meaning super short term. Diba? Kasi nga, nangyari dyan is, condos, kailangan ng minsan 6 months to 1 year. Diba? What if I'm gonna stay 1 week lang? 1 month, diba? Saan ako magsistay? Hotel naman is too expensive. That's where Airbnb was born. So, the real talk here is Airbnb is affected right now kasi nga naturally there's no movement of people. There's not many tourism, diba? So if your area is naturally walang movement, yung mga dating movement ng tao wala, then your Airbnb is clearly negatively affected. Should you move to long term? The answer is why not? If there is a market, diba? It's just like you're in a Japanese restaurant, diba? Kasi maraming Japanese doon sa area mo dati. Biglang nagkaroon ng pandemic, nag-uwian yung mga Japanese. O nagsarado yung factory ng Honda na wala yung mga Japanese. Should you continue your Japanese restaurant? The answer is no more kasi wala nang market. Should you switch to Filipino food? It depends. Kung may market for Filipino foods there. Diba? So yun yung question, yun yung analysis on Airbnb. It depends on the market. If you move to long term, yes, as long as there's a market for it, you can move to long term. Should you go back to Airbnb? Maybe down the road when that tourism movement is back. Yeah. But personally, I'm not a fan of Airbnb because there's a market for it. If you're in Siargao, you're in a Boracay setting, you're in a Puerto Galera, Mindoro, I think that will work. But sa Metro Manila, Not all eh. But yun nga, if your area is Airbnb demanding, kunwari, you have a seaman market na bago sila mag-board ng ship, they need 1 week, 2 weeks, definitely, you have an Airbnb market. The MOA area, Mall of Asia area, because meron siyang SMX, may convention. Diba? When you have a convention, that's a 3-day weekend. And may ingress pa, tsaka egress. Diba? Yun, malakas yun ng Airbnb near the SMX area. So you have the tourism market, you have the convention. Sa Amerika, trivia lang guys Airbnb, the original one, was a concert dahil sa concert or mga festival. Di ba sometimes sa US may mga, kunyari mga NBA. There's an NBA show this weekend. So ang daming tao darating from all over different states. They go to that area, kunyari, Atlanta, to watch the NBA or a concert or a football. Ang mahal ng mga hotel. So yung mga bahay around the neighborhood, they say, teka lang, I have an extra room. Why don't I rent it out sa mga nanonood ng concert for maybe 3 nights while they're here watching the concert. 3 nights, 4 nights. Siyempre, they will arrive, they will get familiar with the place, watch the concert, then bago sila umuwi. So that's how Airbnb started. Sa bahay lang talaga as a side income. Yan. So, Isabel, that's my answer to Airbnb.
Yes, thank you for that. Again, if you guys have any more questions, just put them down in the comment section below. And I want to ask you, I think a lot of young people can relate. How can the millennials invest in such a time that money is tight and everyone is in a work from home setting? So this is for millennials. They,
Fantastic question, Isabella. Can you summarize again the question? What's the question on millennials?
how can the millennials invest in such a time that money is tight and everyone is in a work from home setting?
Guys, Isabel, that's a very good question. Okay lang ba sa inyo guys, real talk? Real talk but it's gonna hurt a bit? Okay lang ba, Isabel? The real talk is, if money is tight and you don't have a lot of excess money, then there's nothing to invest. That's basically the reality of life, no? No, I'm not discouraging you, but that's where I came from 20 years ago. I had no money. I had no excess money. Kung ano man yung pera na kinikita ko as a delivery boy, sakto lang. Diba? So wala talaga invest. How do you do it? You think of ways how to make the most of your time. Diba? Sabi nga nila, kung wala kang money, then marami kang time. You exchange your time for money. You work, you side hustle, magbenta-benta ka, diba? You work hard, long hours. Yung ibang tao nagpapahinga na, natutulog na because their money is working for them. Tayo, na wala pa tayong excess money, we have no choice. We have to work long hours. That's how you start. Diba, Isabel? And then, once na, you start learning, I think investing in your mind is the best. It's the one that gives you the most return. Diba? There was a seminar one time from my friend, sila Randall Tiongson. 1,500 pesos. 2 days. 9 speakers. Pag-iisipan pa ba natin yun, Isabel? Diba? But unfortunately, there are other people who said, sayang tong 1,500 ko. I will not go to that 2-day seminar kasi mas binavalue ko tong money. Then sayang. Then that is a wrong approach na. But of course, kung talagang konti lang yung pera mo, di wala tayong magagawa, di ba? That's reality. But if you have 1,500, then you invest in the learning because in that 2-day seminar, I think you will be energized, your mind will be open, and you will now be motivated to work harder. So yun, Isabel, sa mga millennials, invest in yourself. Invest in your learning.
Yes, okay. We have another question here. Given you have extra fund, is it best to pay in cash to acquire a property or still have it loaned in the bank?
Okay, that is a very good question, Isabel. That is one of the questions kung bakit ako nagkaroon ng 10-week masterclass. Because it's so complicated, that question, na hindi mo masasagot in one go. But I will answer that quickly. Okay, I'll be very careful. Okay, guys, listen to the full answer. Do not pick up partial portion lang. If you are good with money, if you are smart, you know how to make things work. You know how the financial system work. You know how the interest work. Borrowing from the bank is the best strategy if you are smart. Personally, if I had the chance to borrow the money, I would do it because mas malakas, mas mabilis yung balik ng your money works harder for you if you know how to use the bank's money. If you use your own money, medyo mabagal. Medyo matagal siya. It's a super slow burn. Meaning, after 10 years, bili ka na isang property, taas ng taas pa yung presyo over the next 10 years. So it's gonna be hard. So that is my quick answer to it. You need to be smart to be able to handle borrowing. Smart with the how things work. Yan. So thank you for that question. I appreciate that. So looks like that's it. Isabel, we've reached our time. No? Meron bang pahabol? I'm trying to look for the video na ni-request ni Faye.
Yeah, I think that will be it for the questions. Again, if gusto niyo po humabol, just type them down in the comment section.
Isabel, while I'm looking for the video, tiny favor if you can just share how the audience can sign up for the 10-week workshop. I'm sure there will be people listening on the recording. Just feel free to guide them. Where do they go?
Yeah, definitely. We have a website. It's www.esme.ph. So you'll see their live learning series. So you can just check it out there. Carly's picture will be there. So yeah, everything is in our website, www.esme.ph. And you can sign up there as well.
All right. Thank you, Isabel, for that. I'm also typing it in the comment box, the link to sign up. Okay, wow. Okay, meron na tayong mga follow-up question, Isabel. What do you think of property that is pasalo? Meaning you buy from other people's property. Okay, very good question, Jimlyn. That's also one of the reasons why I did the 10-week workshop. No? A pasalo property, number one criteria, it has to be a good property. It has to be a good property. If it's an not so good property, meaning walang potential market, then don't consider it. Kahit sa sobrang mura yon, if it's not a good property, baka maipit ka lang. Diba? That's why on week number 2, it's all about buying. That's where I teach you about the buying part. No? That's why if you're educated about property, that's where it comes in na parang, parang okay tong pasalo na to. It's worth me. It's worth going into. Sometimes kasi may pasalo na hindi naman talaga mura. Sometimes naman, it's mura but the property itself is not so good. Right? That's why I also have my private coaching pala. People come to me and say, Carl, can I hire you? Let's say for an hour. So I can share with you my ideas and you tell me kung okay ba tong property na binibili ko, okay ba tong strategy. So just go to my Facebook page and you will see the private coaching link there. Love the question, Fanny. What do you mean by smart? Yeah, I think I was not clear about that. So, love the question because it gives clarity. What does it mean by smart with money or smart with borrowing money? It means you have to know what to watch out for when borrowing from the bank. You have to know how do you protect yourself na in case something happens na hindi mo mabayaran yung utang, We have a strategy in place. What if you pass away, you go to heaven? What will happen to the utang? Mapapass on yun sa mga anak natin or asawa as a burden. So you have to, so good question, Fanny. Borrowing from the bank is a good financial strategy. You just have to know how the mechanism work. Yep. Thank you for the valuable insights, Sir Carl. I really appreciate that, Jim Lin. You know, one of the things I encourage in my talks is to encourage everybody to show appreciation. You know, if you are here listening right now, you know, just say, Sir Carl, go, I'm learning. Nakaka-encourage siya. And I want a culture of encouragement in our country wherein, you know, hindi lang yung quiet. You know, you learn something, you're happy to say, go. Salamat, Isabel, you're a great host. Thank you for all the questions. Ganon. That culture of encouragement. Ruth Deborah, how about foreclosed property? Yes, we also have a session for that, no? But the long and daming kailangan consider on foreclosed. My friend Noli Aleje is an expert on foreclosed. But syempre, you have to know the property. Marami sa foreclosed property are maybe not so ideal. Diba? Kaya nga siya na foreclosed, diba? I mean, but there will be once in a while na, uy, jackpot to. You have to learn how to spot it. Diba? Uy, jackpot to, mura. Sometimes nga, foreclosed is not really mura eh. If you are familiar with the market, teka lang, mas mahal pa tong foreclosed ha. But also, there's a good thing about foreclosed is yung payment terms with the bank. Diba? Bibili mo siya. So, there's a lot of things to consider. And I will teach you that in the 10-week workshop when we do our buying framework. What to consider when buying a property. And then hopefully when you graduate, you will see the property and say, okay, this property is mura, but it's not good as a property. Baka maipit lang sa akin. This property is mura, pero the rental target market is not for me. I don't like the rental target market. Pero maganda yung financing model kasi galing siya sa Union Bank or East West Bank. Pero hindi pa rin eh. At the end of the day, I will be struggling to make it work. So mga ganon, I will teach you in the 10-week session. Thank you, Faye, for the learnings, for the appreciation. Yep, Isabel, looks like we've reached the end of our time.
Yeah, but can you accommodate one more question?
Of course.
Here. What's the best city in Metro Manila to invest now?
Wow, that's a very good question. Walang right or wrong answer. Yeah, that's the real talk answer. Diba? Every city, every place, there is an opportunity. Diba? Like for example, we've been monitoring various areas. We've been monitoring the Fairview area because of the LRT. We've been monitoring the New Valley area, which if you're a follower of me in Facebook, I frequent the New Valley area. I love it. I love the growth area there. For the rich people, they still like their favorite areas, yung mga high-end areas. So para sa mayaman, they still like their Dasma, their Forbes, their Green Hills, diba? For them. For the middle class, maybe iba. For the starter, maybe iba. Diba? Some people, they like to look at properties na medyo sikat na. As for me, I like to look at properties na upcoming. Diba? Yung mura lang, pero may potential. Diba? In fact, in one of the sessions, I'll be sharing about one of our investments in Taguig, near FTI. If you are from that place, you know that FTI area used to be medyo, di ba, murang property, low market area. But we're seeing some areas doon starting to gentrify. What is gentrify? Isabel, what is gentrify? Sirit? Gentrify is nawawala yung mga luma na nagkakaroon ng bagong establishments. Then the property area starts to develop. That is how an old house suddenly gets demolished and becomes a McDonald's. An old house being demolished becomes a Jollibee. That's a gentrification. So we're gonna talk about that also in the 10-week session. Yes, Jimlin. Yeah, it's very cheap, guys. Super cheap. 12,888. If you have the SME code CDYSME, it becomes 9,888. No brainer. No brainer, guys. I don't even make money out of doing that. Yeah. I'm just doing it. It's fun. I like meeting new friends. I like helping out. All right, Isabel, that's about it.
Right. Okay. Again, thank you so much, Sir Carl D, for an engaging discussion. Even I learned a lot from that. So, before we totally end this, do you want to promote your upcoming live learning series, Creating Wealth Through Property Workshop with ESME Philippines? And where and how can we get in touch with you for a further learning experience?
Oh yeah, okay, Isabel. It's very simple. Just go to, I think I put it in the comment box, yung CDY workshop. bit.ly/CDY workshop, all caps, just go there. It will point you to the ESME sign up page. So the sign up there. If you're having problems with the sign up, don't message me, message ESME because they are the back end operator, not me. If you want to ask me questions, there's two ways to ask me questions. One is to get me in my private coaching, which you will see the link in my Facebook. My Facebook page is Carl D-Property Guru. Property Guru. That's paid. It's 10,000 per hour for the private coaching. But if you really want to ask me question na walang bayad, follow me on TikTok and comment there. Pag sinipag ako, I will answer your question for free sa TikTok. So, di ba? Daming ways. If you wanna paid, pwede rin naman. If you want free, just go to TikTok.
There you go. So before this webinar comes to a close, I would like to invite everyone who wants to learn more and increase their knowledge and skills to visit our website at www.esme.ph. We offer a wide range of masterclass courses, including our live learning series, those of which you enroll in based on whatever is relevant to your passion, career, and interests. We hope to see you in our future live learning series. Again, thank you once again, Property Guru Carl D, for being one of our mentors in this new normal where investing became a hurdle and a challenge.
Wait, I'm gonna show you the video pala. Can you bring me back? Isabel, thank you very much. Isabel, thank you very much. And I'm gonna show this as an ending video. So I'm gonna disappear na. Isabel is gonna disappear. We're gonna end this with this video. All right? I'm gonna share. Okay. Let me do this for Faye. I'm gonna change my camera to this one. All right. So guys, let me know if there's an audio, huh? I'll be playing a video na. And tech team, you can do a full screen on this one. There's an audio, huh? I'll be playing a video na. And tech team, you can do a full screen on this one.